Now, I would introduce myself once more. My name is Lyudmila Sidarchuk, and I work as a methodologist here in Dinternal education in Kiev. I want to say thank you for finding time to join us here in this webinar. Very shortly about Dinternal education. As all of you know, Dinternal education exclusively represent Pearson books as well as Pearson education in Ukraine. So we do not only provide the whole Ukraine with the books, but we also conduct and organize international exams as well as different types of educational trainings like demo lessons, seminars, and one of them is right now that you are taking part in. It's our educational webinar, and the topic of today's webinar is called effective lesson planning. So how to make every stage of your lesson count. So the topic is rather important. I think that you would agree with me here, and it doesn't matter what kind of lesson you're planning, whether it's a system lesson or a skills lesson. Are you going to teach vocabulary, writing, reading, listening? But actually there are 4 must-haves which will unite all these types of different lessons. And as we're talking today about planning, I guess that before we start any kind of planning, we need to come up with a clear aim, right? So what we are going to teach. So we need to think about this communicative outcome, about this final outcome of the lesson, keeping in mind that this aim has to have a communicative character. So this is actually the first must-have that we need to take into consideration to have a clear objective. So what are we going to teach? Well, as soon as we know that, it's really easy to proceed with the planning actually. So the second must-have, it's very, very important to involve the students actually before we even start the lesson. I would say that if, for example, you come to your class, you come to the students and you say, hello, so today we're going to teach this and this, to learn this and this, and then open your books, find exercise 1, read the task and do it. So it won't sound so, I would say, enthusiastic as if, for example, you would try to involve your students on the stage of the warm-up or lead-in with some interactive, playful activity, where they have the possibility to move, to speak, well, actually to do something natural, not just to open the books, sit like this, and then just read the task. So something, some activity which will have this instant engagement into the lesson, and remind students that actually, so they are learning something connected with real life. So we'll see how it works today with you in today's webinar. Then, as the next must-have, as all of us are here, we're teachers of English, so we need to provide that 80% of the lesson students need to talk to each other. So it shouldn't be only our voice. Well, the voice of the teacher is important. We are to provide the instructions to make sure that we have all the stages in the lesson, right? So to have these bridges from one stage to the other stage. But the main thing is that students need to talk, because we are teaching language, and language is all about speaking, is about communication. So the next must-have is called pair or group work. So a lot of pair and group work. In such a way we will reduce this teacher talking time and let the students practice their language. Okay, so and the fourth must-have, which I will use in my today's webinar, it's of course a lot of practice. So as you all know, so practice makes perfect. So the more practice, the better. So less theory, but more and more practical activities. So these are 4 must-haves, and we'll see how it works in today's webinar. Наш сьогоднішній вебінар буде базуватися на одному з наших бестселерів, це Wider World, підручник для середньої школи, сучасний, інтерактивний, розроблений у співпраці з BBC. І більше того, хочу вам повідомити, що в мене просто супер класна новина для вас сьогодні, що у вас є прекрасна можливість виграти підручник Wider World або Next Move для всього вашого класу разом з відео, аудіо та всім методичним супровідом. Конкурс, який стартував з лютого цього року, має назву Ukraine Close Up, і хочу повідомити, що ми його продовжуємо до 20 травня. Отже, ви ще маєте час прийняти участь та отримати прекрасні підручники для вас та ваших учнів. І більш детальніше про умови участі я скажу після того, як ми вже закінчимо після нашого вебінару, в кінці вебінару. And now let's proceed to our effective planning of the lesson. So this is as I have already mentioned, Wider World book, and this is one of the lessons from this book. As you see, it's a reading and vocabulary lesson, and the topic is holidays. As you see, in this very lesson, we're going to develop reading skills and vocabulary. So actually, there are a lot of integrated lessons in Wider World like this. And if you remember, the first must-have, which I need to start my planning from, is my clear objective. What I love in Wider World that actually this very aim, this very objective, I can already see at the very top of the page. So here my students, by the end of this lesson, will be able to find specific detail in a text and talk about their holidays. Yeah, the communicative part of the final outcome, and as I'm going to develop my reading, my students' reading skills, so my students will be able to find specific detail in a text. So as soon as I'm ready with the objective, with the final outcome of the lesson, I can proceed to the planning actually. And I would start my lesson with a lead-in, as if you remember, I was talking about this instant involvement. I usually start my lessons with the books closed. We don't open the books like immediately. So this lead-in that I'm going to practice with my students will be called unbelievable plans, and it's going to be a mingling activity. Last lesson, it was a grammar lesson, and we learned present continuous for future arrangements. So my lead-in actually will be connected with this grammar and with the topic holidays, right? Because actually this is the topic of this current lesson. So what I'm going to do, so this is a mingling activity, so I would ask my students to stand up and then just to move around the classroom and to ask each other one and the same question. What are you doing at the weekend? But the answer shouldn't be a true answer. This answer they can imagine, they can create their own answer, but the thing is that they should surprise their partner with their answer. So this answer should be like kind of shocking even. For instance, if you ask me what I am doing at the weekend, my answer would be I'm flying to the moon. So now, dear colleagues, I would like you to to write actually in your chat boxes about your unbelievable, surprising plans for this weekend, and you need to surprise me. So what are you doing at the weekend? Oh, Anna is going on a date with Elvis. Olga is flying to Mars. Okay, thank you, girls. Okay, then Galina is going on a date with Antonio Banderas. That's amazing. Tatiana is going to meet Elton John. Yana is going to India. Cool. Okay. Maria is going to Africa. Natalia is going to travel to China. Okay. Well, so a lot of, well, someone is going to make a music video with Madonna. It's Yuri. Well, congratulations, Yuri. Okay, well, so a lot of unusual plans. Vera is flying to pyramids. Okay, Natalia is meeting with Madonna as well. Okay, probably it's connected with the video that Yuri is going to make. Okay, Tatiana is going to have a party with the Hollywood stars. Okay, thank you very much. So for your creative answers for these unbelievable plans. So as you see, you are very interactive, yeah, and it's interesting for me to listen to these plans, and it's the same actually with students. So they are eager to share these incredible, unbelievable ideas. So we have repeated, revised, present continuous for future arrangements, and at the same time, so it was our lead-in activity for the topic holidays. So it was instant involvement with the help of this activity. And then, actually, I remember that this is a reading lesson, so I will have a typical reading lesson procedure. Yeah, so, and I'm going to start with a pre-reading task, with a pre-reading stage, actually. And again, here in this lesson, I'm not going to open the book yet. What I'm going to do, I'm going to organize a class vote. Where can we spend holidays? I will elicit the answers from my class, and now I will I will show you the picture, and you will type in your chat boxes the name of this holiday place. Okay, ready? So I show you the picture and you write me the name. So what is it? Who is going to be the first? And the first person to recognize this place is Yana Alexandrina, Mountains. Well done. Okay, the second picture and the second place for holidays. Who's going to be the first now? It's, sorry, just wasn't able to read the name, but it's beach, right? And then the third picture, please, can you type the name Lake? Irina, thank you very much. So yeah, this is lake. Students also might come up with a village or with a city, for instance. It's not necessarily for you to prepare the pictures. Of course, you may just elicit, and I'm sure that the students will give you these names and you will just write them down on the board. And as soon as we're done with that, I then ask my students to give me the real names, Ukrainian names for these places. For example, for mountains, they may come up with Carpathian, with the Carpathian Mountains. For the beach, it can be Arcadia Beach in Odessa. For the lake, let it be Sinevir. Village, Chervone. And city, Kropivnitsky. As soon as we have done that, we may vote where, as a class, for instance, we would like to go in Ukraine. And then, where do you prefer to spend your holidays? Then your students vote, you choose the winner place in Ukraine, and this will be our pre-reading task. Actually, so this class vote is in the wider world first task. That's how it looks. Ось так виглядає, власне, ця вправа. Перша вправа – class vote. Where do you prefer to spend your holidays? Here are the options. Можна зробити, попросивши учнів відкрити книжки, прочитати завдання, зробити. А можна, як з мого власного досвіду, це зазвичай набагато цікавіше, книжки закрили, а ми це все просто проговорили, проголосували, вибрали найкраще місце, і таким чином ми підводимо вже до наступного етапу уроку читання. And the next stage in a reading lesson, probably the most important, will be a while reading stage. And it's very important to read actually at the reading lesson, because here this is where we're going to accomplish our aim, which we put at the very beginning of the lesson. In Wider World, there are always at least 2 tasks to develop 2 types of reading skills. And here in this lesson, the first one that we're going to develop is scanning. And here is the task. Read the descriptions of people looking for a holiday. What do they like? Now, I would ask you to scan this short text and give me the answer. So, what do Kirsty and Evan like when they go on holiday? And please type it in your chat boxes. Have a look, like for some seconds. Having fun, okay. So what do, trying new things, Olga. Olga is the first one. Right, you are. So Kirsty and Evan like trying new things when they go on holidays. When I practice this exercise with my whole class, keeping in mind that that actually pair and teamwork and group work is very important, I would ask them to do the following. I would divide them into 2 teams and then ask one team to scan the text and find the things that these 3 couples love, and the other team has to scan the text but to concentrate on the things that they don't really like while they are on holiday. Well, then we will check it as a whole class. First, they do it in pairs, they communicate, they check it. So this interaction between them is important. And then as an open class, we check it out. For example, Kirsty and Evan love trying new things, but they don't really love holidays with their parents. Damon and Julia love the sea, but don't really prefer flying. And the Darlings love nature, but don't like staying in one place. Okay, so this is the first skill, which we have practiced. And then the second reading skills in this very lesson, we're going to concentrate on detailed reading. And here is the task. Read the holiday adverts, AD, and match them with the people in exercise 2. There is one extra advert. As you may see, so 3 couples, but 4 options. It reminds us typical ZNO format tasks. So starting even from the 5th form, we already prepare, we actually show and practice similar tasks to ZNO, so we're already preparing students for this. And actually, we may ask here the students to read, these texts, these adverts, and to match them with the people according to their preferences. But it's very important to remember about developing real-life skills. And what I would do here, I would probably, before actually reading this text, I would ask my students to think about their options which they would suggest for these 3 couples, taking into consideration their preferences. And only after they do that, so they can start reading in detail. Okay, so now actually here are the preferences of these 3 couples. And well, so students are going to read and check. But the good thing that I love about Wider World, that all the texts here are recorded. So it's very comfortable because actually you can play the recording, and at the same time your students will be listening to the audio, developing their listening skills, and reading the text, developing their reading skills. And what are we going to do now? We're going to listen to one advert from this exercise, and your task will be to guess the couple, which this advert is suitable for. So let's have a look once more. We have 3 couples here. Kirsty and Evan love trying new things, but don't like holidays with their parents. Damon and Julia love the sea, but don't like flying. And the Darlings love nature, but don't like staying in one place. So now we will listen to the advert and then you will tell me the couple which this advert is suitable for. Okay, now let's listen to the audio, to the advert actually.
This week's top holiday tips. A. Go hiking through the beautiful mountains of the Mercantour National Park in the south of France with
Natalia,
a donkey. A family
Let's
holiday
listen
to
till the end.
remember. Don't worry, we teach you how to make friends with your donkey.
Okay, I saw that Natalia was the first one to type the correct answer, the darlings. Yeah, okay, right you are. So this couple is the darlings, but of course actually to to give the correct answer, the students will need probably to look through all the options, to all the adverts and then match them. But thank you very much for being very attentive, for listening, and then and actually for being the first one. So in such a way actually, and probably this part of the lesson will take will be the longest, yeah, because we will first of all develop scanning, then we will be concentrating on developing detailed reading skills. But I still remember that my aim, like there were two parts in my aim, so and that this post-reading stage of my lesson will be of this communicative character. So my students need to be able to talk about holidays. We have developed, we have read the text at least 2 times and listened and read at the same time. And now it's high time to practice, to speak about holidays. And what am I going to do now? Again, I will elicit holiday activities. At the very beginning, we were eliciting places where we can spend holidays. Now, we will name different types of activities, what we can do in those places. Again, I will show you the picture now, and you type in the chat boxes the name of this holiday activity. Ready? So the first picture is this. Can you please type Ludmila Sidenko hiking? Well done. The second picture, can you please write the name of the holiday activity? And this is, sorry, I wasn't able to read the name, but sailing. And one more picture, this is shopping. Christina. Christina is the first one. This is shopping. Well done. And in such a way, actually, you can elicit other types of holiday activities. And before you start using these words in a short context, I would like now to show you one beautiful picture with a very beautiful place, and I would like you to type in the chat boxes the country where this beautiful place is, if you know it. Okay, so have a look, please. Can you please type the country? Germany. Alina thinks it's in Germany. Oksana in France. Yana. Yes, Yana. Thank you very much. Okay, I can see here Great Britain, Spain. Okay, but a lot of people probably know that this place is in Ukraine. This is a beautiful, beautiful castle in neo-Gothic style. Do you know the region, at least, where it is? Do you know where in Ukraine? Підгорці. Червоне, Alexander. Yeah, thank you very much. This is village Червоне in Zhytomyr region. So this beautiful castle deserves really visiting because, well, as you have just typed, yeah, so you thought that actually it is somewhere in another part of the world, not in Ukraine. Okay, one more picture for you to get. What is this? Okay, so what is the name? Sinevir. Kravchuk Maria was the first one. Yeah, this is Lake Sinevir in the Carpathians. And one more picture for you to guess. Where in Ukraine is this place? Чернівці, no. Кропивницький. Елена Shevchenko was the first one. Right, this is Kropivnitsky, and this is the photo from a beautiful dendro park in Kropivnitsky. By the way, I visited it last week, and I was really amazed with this beautiful and long alley full of tulips. And when I actually posted the photos in Facebook, my friend who lives in Holland asked me, are you somewhere in Holland? Because the tulips are like here in our country, like in Holland. And I was so proud to answer, no, it's not in Holland, it's in Kropivnitsky in Ukraine, in Dendro Park. So I was very happy to visit this place, very beautiful. And now, coming back to our lesson, so we have elicited the words, and now it's high time to practice them in a short context. So I might ask my students, is Kropivnitsky a good place for skiing or for walking? For walking. Yeah, it's a good place for walking. Why is it a good place for walking? Because there are many beautiful parks and streets there. We may also write these structures, yeah, in which to use the words, and then students might come up with their answers. And you may prepare photos for your students if you have time. Or another option, which I love here, this is a post-reading stage, and probably you won't have enough time because it's a reading lesson and you would spend a lot of time for developing reading skills. So it's a very good option to give this task as a home task for your students. So they can find beautiful pictures of the beautiful places in Ukraine and then just describe it using the context that you have practiced during the lesson. And then on the next lesson, they may show the picture, tell about this place, and then the class will guess. And at the same time, you and your students will enrich knowledge about our native country, about Ukraine, and know a lot of interesting things about the beautiful places in it. Okay, so we have gone through the structure of a typical reading and vocabulary lesson in Wider World, and keeping in mind clear objective, pair work, instant engagement. And now, as I have promised to you, so once more I will remind you about this great competition. Отже, ще раз хочу оголосити про конкурс Ukraine Close Up, який ми продовжили до 20 травня. Отже, ще раз про те, для кого цей конкурс. Цей конкурс ми організували для учнів 5, 6, 7 та 8 класів включно та для їх вчителів, звісно, англійської мови. Які подарунки? Тобто, якщо ви перемагаєте, а, до речі, з кожної області України буде обрано переможець, ви отримуєте для всього вашого класу комплект підручників на ваш вибір. Або Wider World, або Next Move. Плюс повністю аудіо, відео та повне методичне забезпечення як для вас, так і для учнів. Але навіть якщо ви не війдете, скажімо, до ряду переможців, кожен вчитель, який прийме участь в цьому конкурсі, отримує DVD-диск під назвою Culture Close Up. Це диск з чудовими відео про життя у США та у Великій Британії з розробками завдань різних видів складності. Отже, без подарунка ніхто не залишиться в будь-якому випадку. І далі, тобто ви можете здавати свої плани уроки, це до 20 травня. І тепер детальніше, як же взяти участь у цьому конкурсі. Перше, що вам потрібно зробити, це попросити учнів зробити фотографії якихось цікавих, красивих місць у вашому місті, селі. Після того, як фотографії вже готові, власне, ви підключаєтесь до роботи і ви обираєте 5 найкращих фото з тих, що запропонують вам учні, та розробляєте план уроку на кшталт того, який ми щойно сьогодні, наприклад, з вами пройшли, по якому. І урок може бути будь-який. Може бути speaking, listening, grammar, vocabulary, it's up to you, doesn't matter. Найголовніше, що ви після того, як план уроку готовий, висилаєте його ось на цю адресу, Але зайшовши ось за цим посиланням на наш сайт eltdinternal.com.ua Ukraine Close Up, ви зможете знайти ще раз детальніше, наприклад, як оформити свій план уроку, заповнити аплікаційну форму та відправити ось на цю електронну адресу під номером 3 competition@dinternal.com.ua. Знову ж таки, якщо, наприклад, вам прийде відповідь, що, наприклад, файл не відправлено, ви можете скористатися такими сервісами, як, наприклад, FaxNet, так, і відправити, знову ж таки, лінк на цю адресу. Таким чином, будь ласка, приймайте участь, вигравайте цінні подарунки. І наостанок, що я маю вам сказати, це що абсолютно всі з вас отримують сертифікати, але перед цим хочу ще раз наголосити, що ви вже можете реєструватися на освітні заходи, на семінари, які в нас зараз проходять по всій Україні. Зокрема, 14 травня ми будемо проводити семінари в Хмельницькому, в Києві, в Харкові, в Чернівцях, 16 травня у Львові, Одесі, Полтаві і 17 травня ми в Кременчузі. І знову ж таки, семінари у нас будуть по початковій школі зараз, тому реєструйтеся. І наостанок про сертифікати. Ви обов'язково їх всі отримуєте. Дуже багато завжди від вас отримує листів, коли ж надійде сертифікат. Він не відходить відразу після перегляду вебінару. Він надійде вам до кінця наступного тижня. Що вам потрібно зробити? Як тільки ви його отримували на свою електронну пошту, ви його задаунлоудите, потім там наберете своє ім'я, ну і останнє роздрукуєте і таким чином отримуєте свій сертифікат.